I always think it's funny when I start getting thumbs up before I start getting any viewers. That's always odd. Hey, VNA, you're the first. There we go. Now people are starting to pop on here a little bit. SE8, 10. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Hi, Denise. Hi, Michael. Hello, Kelly. How are we doing today? Everyone having a good day? It's a good Saturday, right? Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. Just doing my thing. Just got done doing my restaurant vlog, so decided to come on here and do that. That's kind of a tradition. I'll usually do a restaurant vlog on Saturday or Sunday, and then come on and do a live stream. There we go. Everyone's popping in now. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jason, Todd, Julie, Terry, Deanna. How are the kitties? Kitties are doing fine. Yeah, I don't know. I saw Bite scrambling around a little bit, so maybe he'll come visit us again. Was really surprised when he popped in last week. Maybe he'll do it again. We got the kitty treats in case he does. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm going to try and be extra nice today, just so I can see if we can prevent this one from getting demonetized right out of the gate. I don't know what it is with YouTube. Oh yeah, there's Bite. Bite's coming down the stairs now. He's sitting there staring at me. We'll see if he'll come up. How's the weather in Waco? It's still hot. I think it's 96 today. Yeah, so makes it nice to kind of stay in and do a live stream in the air conditioning. Hi, Karen from Georgia. Yeah, it's probably warm there too, I'm sure. Thank you, Countess X. I appreciate that you like my vlogs. I'm finding I enjoy doing them more, so that's kind of fun. Hi, Christine from the UK. Glad you were able to stop in. We're trying to do these a little bit earlier in the day, so it isn't quite so late for you guys. Thank you, Sandy. I really like it here in Texas. Yeah, Plano's not that far away, so yeah, it's hot. You know, that's what you get. I mean, I knew I was going to get that when I came to Texas. I've been here before, and it was hot then too. Got 44 people after 3.5 minutes. That's not bad. Raining in Florida, yeah. You got like another hurricane brewing right off the coast. I kind of been watching it for the last week or so. It just turned into a hurricane like in the last 24 hours, so it's going to be a pretty low power one, I think. I checked out West Texas yet. Only when Jordan and I drove through it. You know, when I decided on Texas, I kind of decided I was going to be on kind of the east side of the state because it seemed to be a little greener over here. You get over on the west side, and it just tends to be desert out there, and that's not really what I'm about. What's for dinner? I got a chicken breast out there. I think thawing. Oh yeah, you like the pork chops? That's cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, that one was different from most recipes I do because that was the first time I ever cooked it. Probably if I were to, start doing, if I were to cook that again, I would probably modify it a little bit because, you know, usually in the past when I've shown you something, it's something I've cooked a whole bunch of times before and, kind of tweaked it a little bit to turn it into my own. I was thinking next time I might mix in a little horseradish or some Tabasco sauce or something just to give it a little bit more kick. Did I find my bear claws yet? Yes, I did. Actually, both of those places I had bear claws, and you'll have to watch the vlog tonight to see them and see my results. Pork chops with stuffing. That actually does sound good. What's my favorite football team? I'm not really into football, so Can't really answer that one. Not really into any of the team sports stuff. It's just not. It was never anything I was really into. I watched a little basketball when Jordan was into the Clippers, and I enjoyed going to the games, but it wasn't really anything that exciting for me. Brisbane, Australia, Sunday morning. Is it too early there for you? I don't know. Probably got to be pretty early. What, 5 or 6, something like that? Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I've got two sources now. They're both pretty good. There's little differences between them, but you'll have to watch the vlog to see what the differences are. I don't want too many spoilers, otherwise there won't be any reason to watch the vlog tonight, right? Yeah, I'm in Texas now, so I better start. I assume that's about football. Yeah, no, it's probably not going to happen. Sorry, not really into football. Am I still gonna? I assume sell my T-shirts is what you mean. Yeah, at some point. I'm still working with uh, with John to get a second image done. What we got to do a little. It's going to be a little different than I thought because what he's really good at is taking stuff and mixing it together and merging it rather than actually creating stuff out of whole cloth. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I've got an idea that I presented to him, and he said, "Yeah, that might be a little beyond my ability, but I think what we're going to do. I think what I can do is maybe I can just kind of shoot some photos and kind of give him assets that he can kind of manipulate and put together. I still think it'll be good." Hello, PDXer. How are you? 8:30 a.m. Okay, well that's not too bad for Brisbane, Australia. No, I don't have T-shirts yet, but we're kind of working on them a little bit here. It's kind of a slow thing here. It's kind of building up as we go along. Haven't really thought about the merch, but I've got one T-shirt, artwork for the one I've shown you. That was that picture of me going through the one of the pods boxes with a chainsaw. That was John's first work for me, and that was really great. And we're going to turn that into a T-shirt at some point. I'm probably just going to end up going through Spreadshirt like Jordan does, at least until we can find someone better. I think the big issue with Jordan and Spreadshirt is just he wants somebody that's going to be able to help him with the artwork, because he doesn't really have. He's not really good with the computer graphics and stuff like that. I got an advantage. I got John, who's come up with some real great stuff. He came up with my escaping the mouse logo that I'm using now, and he came up with one T-shirt. And I got another one we're going to work on. So, I think somebody suggested last week that I ought to put the escaping the mouse logo that I have on like a coffee cup, and that's actually a pretty good idea. We'll probably do that at some point. I know Spreadshirt does that kind of stuff. Yeah, coffee cups, tumblers, whatever. We'll kind of see what's out there, and the beauty with Spreadshirt is you can just they've got all sorts of stuff that you can make into merchandise, and it doesn't cost you anything to have 50 different things on there. It's all free to set up. All you got to do is spend the time to do it, and then people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. Did I sleep better with the blacked out window? Yes, yes. In fact, I got a vlog coming up in a couple days where I kind of share a little news with you, and that was one of the news things I talked about is that is helping a lot. Yeah, I never really would have thought that much of mugs because I'm not a coffee drinker. So, but you know what? If a lot of people like that, escaping the mouse bear claws. Yeah, I don't know. It seems odd to me that I'm in Waco, Texas, and Baylor is so big, and the team mascot for Baylor is the Bears. You think that Baylor Bear Claws would be a natural. But if people aren't going to buy Baylor bear claws, I'm not sure that they're going to be interested in escaping the mouse bear claws. I don't think there's anybody in Waco even knows who I am. Mentioned it before. Every time I start up with the live streams, if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not moving the mouse at all of a sudden my antivirus software wants to kick in and start doing some virus scans, and I don't want it doing that while I'm live streaming because you never know what that's going to do. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. They don't want to be eating their mascot. Maybe that's it. I don't know. You just think that that would be a natural. I'm glad you liked the 911 vlog. I was a little disappointed initially with the views on that, but I took something Jordan said to me to heart, and I turned it into a more clickbaity title, and it was really weird. I did that yesterday about 2:30, and I was watching the numbers as the people were watching it. All of a sudden, I did that, and the numbers started going up again. It's weird how people will watch it with one name, won't watch it with one name, but the same video with a different name, and all of a sudden, people start watching it again. So I don't know. I guess Jordan's told me that a whole bunch of times that if you really want to get people to watch your videos, you got to clickbait them. Yeah, it was funny. I was at a restaurant today. I'm not going to tell you which one because you'll have to wait until I think Monday to see it. But um, there, a couple of the wait staff had T-shirts on that had the name of the restaurant on the front and the Baylor Bears on the back. So yeah, that's a big thing apparently. Yeah, yeah, it was the whole situation on September 11th. It was really a sad day for me because, like I said, my grandmother's funeral was the next day, and I couldn't even go to it. I was thinking at the last minute, can I get on a bus? Can I get on a train? Something to get there. And in the end of the day, I couldn't work it out. And a lot of people were commenting that they were like out on the road when that happened, and all of a sudden they were stranded somewhere because airlines were all shut down, and they were getting on buses, and it was just everybody in the world was trying to do that. So I think it was just best for me just to go home and stay there. I don't really have a problem with going on planes with airline or going on airplanes after September 11th, except for the fact I don't really like what they did, with the TSA and all that stuff. It's getting out of hand. I mean, it was bad when I had to fly back and forth to California a couple months ago, uh, dealing with that because, well, it was added difficulty because I didn't have a real driver's license at that point. All I really had as a photo ID was my Costco card, and of course, that automatically to the TSA means you're a terrorist, and you had to go through all sorts of extra hurdles to in order to make in order to get on the plane. It was both ways too. It was bad. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably going to do something for Halloween. It depends on whether I have a job at that point, whether I'm working that night. Uh, and I'm a little reluctant to put stuff out because a lot of the stuff I have, I don't want to get wet, and you really can't tell day to day whether it's going to rain. So, oh, I'm sorry, Janet Matthews. That's sad that your sister passed away today. Stage 4 lung cancer. That's bad. So sorry. Well, yeah, it was really bad not having proper ID. Because all they when they give you a temporary license here in Texas, it's basically just a sheet of paper that they print out, and they won't, you know, you know that apparently allows you to drive, but not, you can't use it as ID, at least not at the airport. I could deal with it now because I got a real driver's license, but the only thing I had that came close to a picture ID was was my Costco card. And if you've ever seen the Costco cards, that isn't much of an ID. Yeah, that's horrible, Janet. I'm really sorry about that. You gonna come and join us, Bite, or are you just gonna sit there? I mean, I do get the kitty treats. He's walking this way, but still gonna decide whether he did it, whether he's gonna come up. I don't know. Last week he popped up onto the sofa here, so maybe he'll do that again. Maybe he's getting a little bit more comfortable with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the Sam's card is the same as the Costco one, but the Costco one is really just a very, it's a very small picture. It's like, half inch by a half inch, and it's just composed of dots. It doesn't even really can't even consider it a picture. Yeah, the second I applied for my Texas ID, they took my California one, so I couldn't use that. They don't want you having two IDs. So yeah, they collected that immediately. They're good at doing that. And of course, it was added complication for me because the first one, for some reason, never came. So I had to go through the whole process twice. I waited 2 months to get it, and it never arrived. And then I had to go back and start the whole process over again. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, VNA. Mine makes me look like a sex offender. Yeah, I don't know if I'll hit the state fair in Dallas or not. We'll see. I'm still trying to do a lot of stuff around, trying to keep it kind of local to where I am. Dallas is 100 miles away, so there's a few touristy things I'd kind of like to do that are like a little bit more local first. But I don't know. I might do that. Yeah, the harmonica playing a skeleton at Home Depot is pretty cool. Several people mentioned that. Yeah, you're probably right, Jeff. I probably got demonetized just by mentioning September 11th, or criticizing the TSA for treating me like a terrorist. Hi, Michelle. How are you? It's been crazy because the last two of well, actually, of the last three of my live streams, actually the last four of them, you really get down to it, have all been demonetized. Last week's one and the one 3 weeks ago were demonetized the second the stream ended, and it took more than a day to get them remonetized. The other ones were demonetized like a day later. And actually, the one about 4 weeks ago was they reviewed it and then they never remonetized it. So yeah, if you decide to go look at that one, I wrote in the description that this one has been demonetized. So feel free to skip the ads. I'm not going to get paid, neither are they. I don't think they'd be able to demonetize for something you said. I don't know. I think there's just certain keywords that trigger them, and I tend to talk about things that frustrate me sometimes. And one of the things that frustrates me is YouTube constantly demonetizing my videos. And if that's what triggers YouTube to demonetize my videos, then it's kind of just a self-perpetuating thing here. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is it true, Kathy, too. But I mean, this is the first time that I've mentioned my driver's license made me look like a sex offender. So I don't know if that, I mean, that might be something too, but yeah. Hi, Venus. How are you? Sorry, I was about to reply and then I started talking to someone else. Yeah, you're right. 100 miles for most Texans is just down the road, but I'm still a little bit of a California. I'm not quite used to that yet. Texas is such a huge state. That's one of those things you have to kind of get used to. With California, it's a big state too, but everything's just one city right after the next to the next to the next. So you drive out of your city and you're in the next city, and then you're into the next one, and into the next, and into the next. It isn't that way in Texas. You drive 10 miles in any direction, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, I did. The video I did 2 days ago, I found two places that I thought had the potential to have them. They both had them, and you'll have to watch tonight's video because I don't want to do too much of a spoiler. But yes, we did. We did find bear claws. No, I think Jordan has a different reason for removing his live streams. Any good? I'm assuming you're talking to bear claws. You'll have to wait until tonight to see. Like I said, if I tell you everything now, there won't be any reason for you to watch the live or watch the video tonight, right? Hey, you. I hear you. I don't know. Do you guys hear him? Wow. He's down there. He's just trying to decide where he can jump up. Oh, there he is. He's up on the couch now. Come on. Want to come say hi to your people? Come on, your fans are watching. You see his little head popping up here, kind of right over here. He's like right here, right on the edge of the shot here. Yep, there he is. You gonna come up and say hi? Huh? Or are you just gonna sit there and meow at me? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're just gonna sit there and meow at me. I knew it. Oh, there we go. Now we're up here. Now you want to be part of the action. Now you're going to go hide behind me, aren't you? Is that what it's going to be? Huh? You just figured out that I'm going to dish out the kitty treats, aren't you? Huh? Yep. He loves the kitty treats. Oops. He was a klutz, though, and he dropped it, didn't he? You were a klutz and you dropped the kitty treats. See what I mean by I'm lunging? Take your finger off. He hasn't quite learned that he doesn't need to go like that. No, that scared him away. Come on, Bite, you gotta come up. Jeff just bought you some kitty treats. You're not gonna come up and say thanks to Jeff? You're gonna make me do it, aren't you? Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the kitty treat fund. We'll definitely use it for that. We're getting low on them here, so I've actually decided I think I'm going to go with the ones in the plastic bottles here because I used to get them in the little foil packs, and the cats would find out where I stored the foil pack, and they'd tear the pack open and get all of them out. And I'd come out, and the pack would be all ripped to shreds, and they can't do that with this. Well, I know when they do it too, because I'll hear this thing fall on the ground in the middle of the night. Yeah, we did find our bear claws. Like I said, you'll have to watch tonight's vlog to see it. Yeah, I think they just came to get to the point where they knew that the kitty treats were always coming. I was always pulling them out of that package, so they knew what the package looked like. And if I make the mistake of leaving the package out, then they just help themselves. That's who they are. Bear claws are it's a pastry kind of thing. It's like a donut, but it's generally they're a little bit longer, and they actually kind of look like a bear claw, which is why they're called that. And they got kind of a cinnamon center, a sugar cinnamon center, and then like a powdered sugar frosting or glaze on top of them. They're really good. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have new neighbors next door, and they got the sound system on. I can hear the walls vibrating. Wait, I'm talking about kitty treats, and you're hungry, VNA? You gotta get out more. Oh, it's the bear claws that are making you hungry. Okay, that's better. That isn't quite as bad. Yeah, apple fritters are good too. I'll probably get some of those, but I was specifically looking for bear claws because I used to eat those from time to time back home, and it was really easy to get them because they were just in the bread aisle in the grocery store. And so I've been kind of looking for them. I kind of eat the same things over and over again, and get bored with things after a while and need a little variety. What's your favorite dessert? I don't really eat a whole lot of dessert. I was more of a dessert person when I was a kid, but I kind of outgrew that a little bit. Um, I do like, different kinds of ice cream, certain things specifically, chocolate and vanilla ice cream. I like Rocky Road ice cream. I like, pies, apple, cherry, strawberry pie. My mom makes some pretty good strawberry shortcake, which I'm a huge fan of. Yeah, blueberry fritter. That sounds good too. I did see that a couple of the places I went did have the apple fritters. So, like I said, I may try that too. But yeah, you're right, Greater Bilby. Sometimes they do have little slivers of almond on the top too. In fact, the ones I used to get in California in the bread aisle had those. Yeah, the Cinnabon cinnamon rolls at Schlotsky's, they're a little too rich for me. I've never really been too much of a fan. Something too much like that, it knocks my blood sugar out of whack, and so I think that's also part of the reason why I'm not really into desserts that much because they tend to be a little too sweet for me. What are my thoughts on the iPhone 11? I've never had an iPhone. I've been an Android person all along, so I'm the worst person in the world to ask. Never really been an Apple person at all. You know, even computers, I have a PC. I operated Macintoshes when I was working in the CD factory many years ago. But it always struck me that the hardware was more expensive, the software was more expensive, and there wasn't as much variety of software. One of the things you run into when you have the PC, which is more of an open source format, versus Apple, which is really just Apple stuff, is that you have more variety, you have more competition. You also have some more problems sometimes because sometimes when hardware manufacturer A is trying to work with software manufacturer B, they aren't always perfectly compatible. But even there, that's getting a little bit better. Competition tends to lead to better products and lower prices. So I've always been a PC person, I think, for that reason. Did I see the live event from Apple? No, I didn't. Well, what was it? I know that they're releasing a new iPhone. Is that what it was? Sometimes I talk to you, and then all of a sudden someone says something that's in response to maybe a comment I missed, and I got to go back and. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that iPhones or Androids are better. It's just you got to go with what you like. Actually, there was one reason alone that I started out with Android, and that was because there was an app called Google Sky. Now, you all know what Google Maps is. Well, Google Sky is basically the same thing, only you can point at the sky and it tells you what stars you're looking at, what planets you're looking at, and you can tell where things are. And Apple has a really, really inferior version of that program, and I've never really, like I said, that was the key reason I went to Apple or went to Android in the first place. Actually, Android isn't necessarily Windows; it's Google. Google is Android. That was their operating system. Thanks, Kathy from Kentucky. I'm glad you like the channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm really kind of enjoying doing this more. I didn't think, being kind of the introvert I am, I didn't think that this would be really something that would be that much fun for me. But as I do it more, I'm enjoying it. So yeah, we'll keep going for a while. Hello, Chris Moss. Welcome to the chat. So how do I like Waco now instead of California? I like Waco in just about every way. The heat's a little bit, takes a little getting used to, but you know what? It isn't that bad. And when you get the heat and the humidity, that's kind of a necessary prerequisite to get the rain. And one of the things I wanted when I came to Texas was to get out of the California desert and get to the point where I would get a little bit of weather. It just rarely if ever rains in California. I found out how wondrously complex the weather is here in Texas. Even the weatherman can't predict what's going on. Just a couple days ago, I got up and they were predicting that there was like a 10% chance of rain. And I ran out and ran a little errand in the middle of the afternoon. It started raining a little bit while I was going, and got back and started looking at the weather, and all of a sudden it was 40% and 50% and 60% and then 80%. And then it rained, and it rained for probably 30, 45 minutes. We got about a third of an inch. Nothing real significant, but that's that. Like I said, that was what I came. That was one of the things that made me choose Texas. I did find my bear claws. You'll have to wait until tonight's vlog to find out what exactly happened. I don't want to be too much of a spoiler alert because I want you to watch the vlog. If you hear everything here, then you won't do that, right? Enjoyed the pork chop video. That's cool. I don't know. One of the reasons I kind of decided to do that is because I was really starting to kind of run out of content to do. There's only so many things I can visit around here. There's only so many things that are going on in my life that I can talk about on a daily basis. There's only so many restaurants I can do, but there are infinite number of recipes. So, someday when I get up and I just don't know what I'm going to do today, I'll just go online and find some recipe. In fact, in 2 days, I'm going to post a video where I'm going to propose an idea that kind of gets you guys involved a little bit with this. I'm not going to tell you too much about that, but that video should go up, I think, tomorrow night. Yeah, well, I got to keep mixing it up because, like I said, there's only so many things that I can do here, and Waco's a pretty small place, and I'm starting to kind of run out of all the touristy things. People say, "Oh, you got to go to this place." Yeah, I've been there. Oh, you got to go to that place. Yeah, I've been there. You know, and I'm running out of restaurants too. I'm taking suggestions now from people on restaurants to do. The one I did today was a suggestion that somebody made in the comments about a week ago. That wasn't the first time I'd ever heard of it, but you know, um, it had been on my radar, but somebody mentioned it, and it got me to kind of look at it a little closer. I'd been thinking about it for a while. Yeah, that's the weird thing is subscribers have been really static for me for like the last month or so. In fact, they go up a couple, they go down a couple. I've been stuck between 2,600 and 2,620 for about a month now. So, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. The views seem to be going up. So, That's what really counts. I get paid based on the views, not based on the subscribers. But the subscribers are, those are people, who have decided to log in, to actually say that they want to follow me and they want to hear when new things are coming up. So, how's my dad doing? That's a little difficult question. He's back in the hospital again. I'm not going to really talk too much about it because that's really the subject of tomorrow night's vlog. Uh, he is doing a little bit better, but we had kind of a scary moment a couple of days ago, and they put him back in the hospital again. I think he's on the mend again, but that's what happens when you kind of get to that age. And I do a barbecue vlog at home. Not really at this point because I don't really have a functioning barbecue. I mean, I have one out in the backyard, but I can't use it because it's natural gas and there's no natural gas in the complex. So basically, the barbecue is just out in the backyard. Um, my father, he's about 80. So yeah, he's up there. I have been to Harbor Freight Store. I like them a lot. I think my mom would kill me if I told you how old she was, but my father's about 80. Not going to give you too much detail on that. That's a little bit private, but I don't think my father's as sensitive about that. Yeah, thank you, Snowflake Flake Squirrel. Yeah, R.I.P. Daniel Johnson. That was sad. Always kind of wanted to see him. Never got a chance. Gone too young. You'll have to Google Daniel Johnson. He's an interesting character. He's a musician and an artist, and I think Jordan was talking about him a little bit a couple days ago on his live stream. Did I get bear claws? Yes. You'll actually have to watch the video tonight because we resolved that whole issue. That's going to be the final episode in the bear claw saga. But we did get them. Both the places had them. I review them both tonight, and you'll hear what I found. Yeah, you're right. There's a great documentary called "The Devil and Daniel Johnson," and I pulled that out and watched that just a couple nights ago, the night he died, because it was sad. Yeah, rip Eddie Money too. That was sad too. Wasn't as much of a fan of him, but I mean, I was aware of him because I was just really starting to get into music when he was big, so I knew him very well from the time. What time do I upload my vlog? It's 8 o'clock local time. It's 6 o'clock now. So look at your clock right now, add 2 hours to it, and that's when it'll go up. Yeah, I think my favorite store is Home Depot too. No doubt about that. Yeah, yeah. Daniel Johnston was a really, yeah, you're right, very interesting character. A little bit out there. There's something weird with him. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was. If he was autistic or had some sort of brain damage or something like that. But very interesting character. Thank you, Jeff. I'll definitely pass that on to my father. I've talked to him on the phone. He's doing better, but he's got a lot of recovery to do. Yeah. See, I graduated from high school in 1982, so that was kind of the era I grew up, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, Lowe's is pretty good too. And actually, there's a Lowe's and a Home Depot that are both kind of pretty close to me here. But I'm a Home Depot person, kind of tend to stick with that. I think I have a better idea just what Home Depot has, so I know what to expect. But sometimes when I can't find what I'm looking for at Home Depot, I'll go over to Lowe's. Yeah, Jordan is doing stuff in Vegas. Well, he's posting stuff from Vegas. I'm not sure exactly where he is right now. Okay, Dr. Watson, go fix some supper. I'll probably be on here for another hour, hour and a half or so. So if you want, come on back. We'll be here. I usually stay on for about 2 hours, and we're only 41 minutes into this. So Lowe's is nicer. Yeah, maybe. But like I said, I know what to expect from Home Depot. And I think I like Home Depot's lumber department. As somebody who's kind of a amateur woodworker, that's something I look for. Thank you, Ruth Jones Hernandez. I appreciate that. Yeah, that is nice about both Home Depot and Lowe's. They're usually pretty close by. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that you consider Jordan and I your favorites on YouTube. I know Jordan appreciates it too. Yeah, I know. 41 minutes doesn't seem like that long, right? That's part of what makes these so easy to do because I'll get to 2 hours and like, wow, that was 2 hours. Yeah, I do miss Jordan and Jaw, but Jordan and I text back and forth quite a bit, so we get to, and as soon as we can teach Jaw how to text, things will be a little better. How is my dad? My dad's had a little bit of a setback. He's back in the hospital. That's actually the subject of tomorrow's vlog, so I'm not going to do too much of a spoiler on that. You'll have to watch tomorrow, but um, that's he is improving somewhat. So we caught whatever it was really really quickly, and before it caused me anything serious. I think a lot of times Home Depot and Lowe's, it kind of varies from location. I noticed that when I was in California, uh, there were like four Home Depots that were like within 10 miles of where I lived. And they all kind of specialized in one thing. There was one of them out, a little bit east of me over by the Costco that I used to go to that had just an amazing garden section. And the one I would go to had an amazing lumber section. And another one had a really great like a flooring section and stuff like that. So I think they all kind of have their own little specialty. Didn't take shop class in high school. I took a metal shop in junior high. Actually, I was into cooking and I took cooking classes in high school of all things. They had a class that was called boys cooking, and the criteria was that you had to eat everything you made, and so that just was a natural thing for me. And I learned some of my basic cooking skills there. I'm not going to say that cooking relaxes me, but it's something I enjoy doing. But there's nothing strange about that, Jeff. Yeah, it was a little bit more than water boiling 101. I've always been pretty good at that. pretty hard to screw that up. I know there's people who say they can burn water, but I'm not one of them. I hate to cook, so now that I can't, I don't miss it. Yeah, the pork chops were really good. Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm gonna, like I said, that was the first time I'd ever cooked those. And a lot of times when I share recipes from, with you guys, it's something that I've cooked a bunch of times and kind of made it my own. This was, a little different because, it was the first time for you, it was the first time for me. Now that I know what the result is, I'd probably alter the recipe a little bit to make it a little bit more something that I'd like. But they were good. It was a good start. It's definitely something I'd work on. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Yeah, I did find my bear claws. Like I said, you'll have to watch the vlog tonight because that's part 3 of the bear claw quest, and we finally resolve it. It's a bear claw trilogy. Yeah, I like doing the that's not how it's done vlogs too. The problem is, it's just this apartment and get to a point where, once you've fixed everything, it's like as long as I'm not destroying anything, there's nothing really else to do. Yeah, you might be right, Chris. Thanks, Wendy. I'm glad that you enjoy the vlogs. I enjoy doing them. I always worry that that they're gonna start getting boring and people stop watching. So I love hearing that you guys like to do them. Like watching them. And we'll probably get to the point where we do some more of those. Just find a recipe in the books or on the internet or something like that and try it. There we go. Look who popped up again. Yeah, knock on the neighbor's door and ask for things to repair. Might be onto something there. Yeah, yeah, Bite's back again. He's decided that he's not going to get any kitty treats if he's down there on the floor over there. He's got to come over here. He likes his kitty treats. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. As you can see, he hasn't missed a whole lot of meals, and he's spoiled rotten with his kitty treats. Texas Bear Claw Massacre. That's awesome. Ow! Don't you know about not biting the hand that feeds you? I mean, I thought that was just a cliche. You gotta get a lunge at me here, like I'm gonna pull it away. Yeah, he's my buddy. I wish I could get Nibble to come down, but she's just weird that way. Hey, Terry's here. Saw a little bit of your live stream a few minutes ago. You came in just at the moment that the bite decided to come and visit. Plants and trees are doing all right. I'm having to, struggle a little bit to, you know, keep them watered because there aren't any sprinklers that run in the area, and so and there's not really a hose or a faucet or anything out there, so I end up having to like fill up a 5 gallon bucket in the bathtub and bring it out there and water stuff that way. But we're working on that a little bit. Just having to do it a little bit more. I think those things just need to be watered more than they're getting. But they're doing all right. And I think once I move into a house and get them in the ground, they'll be all right. Even if I leave them in a pot, I think they'll do all right. Just because if I get like some sprinklers around them, they'll be fine if they're getting watered on a regular basis. Hi, Melanie. How are you doing? Yeah, the reason I didn't really say anything, Terry, is because basically what I do is when I'm going to go live, I want to make sure Jordan isn't live there because that usually affects significantly the number of views because unfortunately I can't compete with him. Wouldn't even try. And I saw that you were on. It's like I watched you for a couple minutes, but okay, that's probably enough. You're going to get fat. You're going to get fatter, right? That's what's going to happen. You're going to get fatter, aren't you? You like the brush, though, don't you? That's like his favorite thing in the world is that brush. I have to actually hide the brush because he'll like rub up against it and he'll actually make his face bleed because he's doing that so much. Wow. What do you have to say? You got something to say to them? Huh? I don't know if you can hear him purring, but his motor's running. Yeah, now you're just trying to look cute, aren't you? That's what it is. You're trying to get me to give you a new, more kitty treats because, yeah. Come here, buddy. Come here. Say hi to everyone. Say hi, Bite. No? You see yourself? That's you. You're on the internet. 109 people are watching you. No? Not interested? Okay. You go over there. He'll probably run upstairs now. He's had enough. He's my buddy. Yeah, he's a good cat. He's a big boy. That's 18 pounds of cat right there. Oh, I missed the lemonade part. Yeah, that was why I didn't stay too long because I had to start my own. But did Bite and Nibble get along with Jaw? No, not at all. Unfortunately, it was kind of a match made in hell because Jaw's first instinct is to chase, and Bite and Nibble's first instinct is to run. But they interacted enough that they were kind of starting to get a little bit more used to each other. Because when I'd be watching TV, would be Jaw would be over there. Jaw would sit on my lap, and Bite would like come up on the side of the chair and stand up there. And as long as I held on to Jaw and didn't allow him to move, Bite was getting to be a little bit more accustomed to him. I work at the cat museum. What's a cat museum, Cowgirl? Do they go outside? No, they aren't. They're indoor cats. There's a couple cats in the neighborhood that are outdoor cats, and I don't want them interacting with them. Oh yeah, cats are both bigger than Jaw is, but that doesn't matter. I was just watching a funny video the other day where there were a bunch of walruses hanging out on the end of a dock, and this little teeny tiny yippy dog went running out after him, and the walruses all dove into the water because even though that any one of them outweighed the dog by probably 100 to 1, it didn't matter. They just said out of here, and they were all in the water. Oh yeah, North Carolina. That's maybe a little bit too far away for a vlog at this point. North Carolina Meowtons. That's awesome. Yeah, I suspect given time, Jaw and the cats would have, at least learned to tolerate each other. But it probably wasn't going to happen. So that's cool. Yeah, go get some coffee. Do what you got to do. There's never been a time, Venus, where I didn't have some sort of a pet. Ever since I was, a kid, I think, when I was 8 or 10 years old, my parents got me a couple of guinea pigs, and there's never been a time since then that I haven't had some sort of a pet. Jaw is two bundles of energy. Yeah, I can't believe that guy has so much. There's that much energy in that little of a package. That dog could end an energy crisis. Yeah, bite and nibble are both rescues of a sort. They were somebody abandoned them in my backyard when they were babies, and I just kind of adopted them. Yeah, I'd have to say my first pets were turtles too. My parents had those little teeny tiny turtles that lived in a fish tank. When my sister and I were really young. But in terms of a pet that was actually mine versus my parents' pet that I got to enjoy, it was the guinea pigs. But I've had guinea pigs and rabbits and mice and a chinchilla and birds and parakeets and finches, parrots and cats and dogs and tortoises and yeah, it just you've had it. You name it, I probably had it at some point. Who besides Jordan? Who are my favorite vloggers? I don't really watch anyone else. Just it's Jordan. I watched Adam Nawoo a bit. Uh, I've seen Justin Scard a few times. Justin Scard is a little too high energy for me, and really haven't seen Adam probably since I moved here. It's funny. Some of my family friends have chickens too, and I was thinking about getting some chickens maybe when I get a house. Uh, their chickens just started laying eggs in the last week, so they were very excited about that. They just got them as babies, and they've been raising them since then. There were more pets than anything else, but the family has like two young kids, a boy who's probably 7 or 6 or something like that, and a girl who's 3 or 4. And there was a cute picture that their mom posted on Facebook where each one of them was holding an egg. Bite went missing, for a day or so. When I was getting ready to move, getting the house all fixed up, I had left the door open for a little while because I had like construction guys working. And after everything was done and we closed up the house, I couldn't find Bite and had no idea where he was. And he was missing for about 24 hours. And then I realized, you know what? He's in one of the cabinets. He found his way into one of the cabinets over the refrigerator and was hiding in there. I always had a problem with that. Yeah, the cats figured out early on um, how to open up the cabinet doors, and so they I had to actually put magnetic locks on all of them so they couldn't open them up because they'd open them up and go inside, and that was no good. You can hear my phone ringing in the other room. Must be my mom giving me an update on what's going on with my dad. We'll catch up to that a little later. I've seen a few episodes of the Days with Jaw channel. I don't, and I mean, I'm a subscriber and all, but I don't really watch all of them. You know, do I have a favorite pet? Yeah, it's usually the ones I have now. Bite and Nibble are my favorites right now. I'm not sure if that's the beginning of a troll or what, so we're just gonna. I don't know. We'll see. If they keep doing weird things like that, then we'll take another step. Yeah. Okay. We're done. I don't know. Sometimes they post these weird things. I have no idea what that's all about. But when you start posting the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, that starts screaming like a troll. That one doesn't even need a second chance. That's another way to ensure that you're going to get deleted immediately when you start posting things that are obscene or disgusting. Oh, it looks like maybe Jordan's on here because it looks like Jordan got one of them too. You here, Jordan? It's kind of good having Jordan on here when he does because then he can be the troll hunter. What's my favorite color? I guess blue. I'm a blue fan. In fact, my house in California, probably 80% of it was blue. It got to the point where I'd paint a room a new color. I'd have to pick something else because I always kind of gravitated towards blue. Yeah, still planning on. I haven't heard from the friend yet about the computer class, so it's on him. It's on his shoulders to let me know when he needs help. But I've let him know I'm ready to do it. So all right, good night, Peter. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. Yeah, the whole world is computer based now, so that's it's one of those things that there'll always be a demand for. Do I drink coffee? No, I'm not into caffeine at all. I don't drink any caffeine. I mean, I do occasionally, but it's like, maybe a couple times a year just because I do like sodas, but I usually drink like decaffeinated things like, Sprite or 7 Up or something like that. I learned a while ago that caffeine actually kind of has the opposite effect on me. It kind of makes me sleepy. It's weird. Not really a fan of root beer either. Root beer is too sweet for me. Same with Dr. Pepper. I'm probably not going to do too well in Waco because of because I'm not a Dr. Pepper fan. What is my favorite beverage in terms of sodas? Like I said, Sprite, 7 Up. Um, if I need something, if I'm thirsty and dehydrated, I'll have a Gatorade or a Powerade or something like that. But then I'll just drink water. And no, this is not moonshine. It's not vodka. It's water. I assure you. If I drank this much moonshine or water or moonshine or vodka in the little over an hour I've been here, I'd be slurring my speech a lot worse. Water is best unless it's adulterated with. I think that was a autocorrect thing. I never started with coffee. I've had 2 cups of coffee in my life and wasn't a fan of either of them. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Mountain Dew either. It's a little too sweet for me. And I've seen a bunch of documentaries about people who like rotted the teeth out of their mouth because they were always drinking. They were drinking so much Mountain Dew. Yeah, it looks like our Ariana Grande fan just logged in with another account and tried doing stuff. So that one's gone too. You keep doing the same stupid things over and over again. It takes me 1 second to block you, and it takes you like 5 minutes to set up a new account. How pathetic is that, huh? Yeah, it was always just a preferential thing with Mountain Dew. Like I said, it was a little too heavy, a little too sweet for me. I'm the same way with Dr. Pepper. I'm the same way with root beer. Root beer is just too much for me. In fact, I used to drink lots of Coke and Pepsi, and when I stopped with the caffeine almost entirely, I don't really like even Coke and Pepsi that much anymore. It's too heavy. Just not really into the flavor anymore. It's weird. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I still like my beer. In fact, I've been drinking a little bit more beer lately. I found something that I'd never heard of before that that I really like, and I've been drinking that periodically. No, I don't have the ability to make coffee. In fact, when Jordan does come and hang out with me, if he needs coffee, we got to go to 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts or something like that in order to take care of him. And when I was over at his place, yeah, he'll often make a cup of coffee, but he knows I'm not into that. So, I love the smell of it. I just never developed a taste for it. I think the problem was it was the same problem I had with beer early on. I couldn't stand beer either, and it just turned out I didn't like bad beer. And like I said, I've had 2 cups of coffee in my life, and neither of them were really, really good. I would suspect if I had some of the stuff that Jordan makes for himself, I'd probably really like it. But the truth is, I just don't want to get into it. Yeah, see, early on when I'd have beer, it'd be like Coors or Budweiser, and even today I can't stand those. I like more microbrews. I'm drinking like Fat Tire and uh, you know, well, like Jordan said, Bass Ale was a big one for a long time, and I like some of the Sam Adams stuff. The more traditional stuff, I usually like lagers and ales and stouts, and really kind of tend to stay away from like the pilsners, which is what you get with like Coors and Budweiser and Miller and all that. Like I said, beer's an acquired taste. You either like it or you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. Heineken, never really was a fan of Heineken either. The best thing about Heineken was the interaction between Kyle MacLachlan and what's his name from Blue Velvet. Heineken, F that, yes. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Dennis Hopper, that's who I was thinking of. That's a great movie. Yeah, Dennis Hopper, right. Jordan knew what I was talking about. That's a great line. No, that's what I always think of whenever anyone mentions either Heineken or Pabst Blue Ribbon. Is that line from Blue Velvet? Michelob has some good stuff, but just their general Michelob beer, I'm not really not really into that. Yeah, don't look. Don't Jordan says don't look at me. Yeah, he's definitely not into alcohol, not in any way, shape, or form. Am I a movie buff? Yes, yes, I do like movie. I like science fiction. I like action adventure. I like comedy. I have sometimes kind of a twisted sense of humor, and so I like stuff like John Waters and stuff like that. Those are all funny. Fan of Ed Wood, stuff like that. Never really been to a brewery. Actually, closest thing I ever went to when I was back in California. Uh, my parents and I would, do birthdays and celebrate at a place at a local restaurant in Brea called Taps, and it was a great steak and seafood place. But one of the things that I really liked about it is that they had a brewery on site, and they brew their own beer, and that was why I like going there is to try different beers. But the food was fantastic too. Hey, Angela's here. Got here to stop in. I figured we'd probably see you at some point. How many subscribers did you get in the end of the day, Angela? And you too, Terry. I know you both got some out of that. We gave them both a little bit of a shout out last week. 20 from Terry. That's good. That always helps. Now you just got to keep. Now you just got to keep keeping them entertaining. Keep them entertained. That's the hard part. Now it's on you. I'll help you where I can, but it's up to you to keep them entertained. You made beer in your garage and it blew up. Oh, that's no good. Ginger beer. That sounds like that could be a mess. You cry in your live streams. I've never done that. Maybe we'll try that sometime. I did sort of cry a little bit when I was doing my pork chop video, when I was cutting up the onions or when I was sauteing the onions. Have I ever been to Canada? No, I've been very close to Canada. I have family in Minnesota and an uncle specifically that has a cabin up in northern Minnesota, up kind of near Bemidji, if you know the area. And there was a place up that he liked to go fishing on a lake called Lake of the Woods, which was right up on the Canadian border. But that's the closest I've ever gotten to Canada. All right. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. You're typing gibberish. It's like, yeah, we're done. They're coming out in forces today. That's like 5 of them we've had to block. Like I said, it's so stupid with these guys because it takes so long to set up an account, and it takes me 1 second to block them. But whatever keeps them entertained. Thanks, Angela. I'm glad you're here. Are you leaving? Because you just got here. I was hoping you'd stay for a few minutes. Yeah, if Savages 48. Yeah, I don't know if you were here a little while ago. Bite kind of made his appearance. He was kind of hanging out here, enjoying the kitty treats. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure, Angela, whether you were, you know, saying goodbye or just, saying hello. So I wanted to check. Yeah, we'll be here for a while. I usually go for 2 hours when I'm on this, maybe a little bit more, and we're 40 plus minutes away from that. My main issue is I like to have this finished before my next video goes up because, otherwise it really messes up the analytics because then the computer starts looking at this versus the next video, and I like to kind of monitor what's going on just to kind of see over and over again. Yeah, and if you're asking a legitimate question, but if it's something that's just so far out of left field, or in the case of that last guy who just was posting gibberish, you know, okay, you've convinced me. Yeah, sometimes I miss that. So yeah, don't be afraid to say troll alert if you see something. No, my uncle's never wanted to move out of Minnesota. He's lived there all his life, and he's kind of like me. He's a lot like me. He's quiet and introverted, and kind of turned into a hermit. It's funny. I was talking to my mom just the other day, and we hadn't talked for a while, and I said, you're always going to have to be the one that kind of reaches out to me because I could be very comfortable, very happy just turning into a hermit sometime and disappearing. Fortunately, she kind of gets her daily fix of me by watching the vlog, so that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably do another recipe at some point. Like I said, it was just something I was kind of experimenting with, and I thought, you know what? I'm running out of restaurants to go to. I'm running out of attractions to go to. There's only so much going on in my life that can turn into a vlog. I've basically fixed everything in the apartment, so I can't really do a whole lot there. So, it gets to the point where I got to come up with something else, and people like the restaurant vlogs and they like it when I cook. So, like I said, I just decided to mash those two things together and pull out some random recipe that looks interesting on the internet and try that. I don't know. I thought it worked out all right. So we'll keep doing them. It's weird though, because the things that I think, okay, this is going to be a really great vlog, and it just it dies. It gets horrible views. Usually at this point, what kind of my benchmark is I like to have 1,000 views on a video before the next one goes up. And I know that it isn't a good video when, 2, 3 days later, it still hasn't hit 1,000 views. So it's weird on that. Yesterday's video about me hanging up a tarp over my window, that hit 1,000 views by noon today, which is really weird. Give it time, Terry. It'll happen. Just keep doing it. The best advice Jordan ever gave me was just do it every day so people get used to coming back and seeing you every day. Once you get to the point where you've been doing it for a while and they know, then they know who you are and they'll watch. And even if you have to back off a little bit and don't do it every day, it's fine. But until they get to the point they do know you, even if it's just you talking about what's going on in your life. That's the thing that baffles me still about this. The best videos I get are when doesn't the best views I get on videos these days are the ones that I'm just sitting in the chair over there talking to the camera. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't mean it isn't a good video. It just means that people wouldn't give it a chance. That's why the clickbaiting is such an important thing. I was telling them about that a little earlier, Jordan, how that September 11th video was originally called Never Forget and was one of those just really disappointing videos in terms of views because in reality it should have been the thing that everybody would like because it was literally just me sitting in the chair telling you the story of my grandmother passing away and me missing her funeral. But yesterday, when I changed the name of it from Never Forget to My Grandmother's Funeral, all of a sudden the views just started going way up again. It was really weird. I actually texted Jordan last night and showed him the analytics page because that's what happened. One of the things Jordan said to me is that the best clickbait video titles are the ones that like ask a question. I was halfway thinking about renaming that video again to "Why I Missed My Grandmother's Funeral" or something like that. Yeah, I got to admit I don't like clickbait either. When I go onto a news site and they have some clickbait titles, like oh man, I feel so manipulated. But you know what? That's unfortunately what gets people to watch. I mean, it's not all you guys because you guys watch a lot. Those of you that are on here and you're talking, you come on every one of my live streams and you comment on. I know you guys watch every single one of them. In fact, a lot of times you'll get partway through a video and you'll leave a comment, and then you'll finish the video and you'll leave another comment. Yeah, that 911 story. It's something I've been thinking about for a week or so, because I knew we were coming up on the anniversary, and I've kind of told that story online a few times in past years, and so I thought, well, okay, well, this is going to be the first time I can do something, do an actual video about it. You wish my day vlogs were longer. Yeah, it all relates back to something my mom told me many, many years ago. I'm not sure if this was a story she heard or something that actually happened to her. I think it's a story she heard, but apparently a college professor had given an assignment to the students to write a report, and one of the students raised their hand and said, "How long does the report have to be?" And the professor said, "It has to be like a woman's skirt. It has to be long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to be interesting." And that's sort of what I'm doing. My videos vary in length based on how long it takes me to cover the subject. Because if there's 5 minutes of content and I go for 10 minutes, then it's 5 minutes of filler, and at that point it's no longer interesting. So I don't know. Maybe as we do more and more things, they'll be longer. But I noticed, like, when I do the cooking videos, they're usually longer. And sometimes when I really have something something interesting to talk about, I could go on for a while. Is my channel being hacked? Why? What are you seeing? Not as far as I know. My channel is being hacked? I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that because okay, well, at least we didn't shut her down permanently. Yeah, but I've seen her pop up with legitimate comments before. I don't know. Maybe somebody logged in with another name, or, with a name of somebody who's already a follower. I don't know, because I've seen Nancy Ashley before. She's usually been pretty respectable commenter. That was why I was a little bit reluctant to do anything about that. But like I said, maybe one of the trolls is figuring out now they're looking at some of the people who comment a lot and setting up another account with their name with the goal of doing things. Yeah, I saw that too. Like I said, I was wondering what was going on, but whatever. How are the cats adapting? Cats are doing fine. Bite was down here a little bit ago. You know, mooching for the camera a little bit, trying to get some kitty treats. Yeah, okay, you want to see the slippers? I'm wearing the slippers, both of them. There you go. Got to give your customers what they want. Yeah, Rip Daniel Jensen. That was sad. That was surprising. Can we talk about the wooden stand you had in your kitchen where you were while you were cooking? It was holding your tablet. Oh, that was yeah, that was I actually did make that. That was something I made a number of years ago. For when I was doing like homework, I would I built myself a desk at some point, and that was just something I whipped together really quickly. So what I could do is, when I was doing my homework, I put the textbook up under the rack, and it just hold the textbook open like that. That was just a real simple thing. I whipped it together in about 5 minutes. When I move into a house eventually, I'll maybe start doing some woodworking vlogs. But right now, all my tools are in the right now all my tools are in the storage locker, and there's no real room in here for them. I got the stuff that I need. Since you haven't found a job, and since you're seeing a lot in Waco, have you been tempted to move somewhere, try somewhere else when your lease ends? No, not really. I mean, this place has got its issues, but I'm going to probably stay here until I'm ready to move in. The place is okay. No, not really interested in going to Houston. I want to. kind of stay out of the big cities. Actually, I just get informed a couple of days ago that my lease ends in 2 months, and I had to make a decision by I think tomorrow. And I've elected to go for another 7 months here. So at this point, it'll probably be June or July next year before we start talking about a house. Well, I've seen a lot of people. I've learned a lot about caulking compounds since I lived here. I was just looking at one of the Texas historical. No, actually, it wasn't. It was somebody posted on one of my. I think it was on my tornado video that they, I think, were in the Alico building when the hurricane or when the tornado hit, and they said it was scary because the building was rocking back and forth. I guess that was better than the people across the street who were in the building that collapsed, but that's still scary. Do I have any artistic skills other than woodworking? I mean, not really. I'm a pretty good painter in terms of painting my house and stuff like that, but I don't know if that's artistic more or just more of like a trade. I did get my bear claws. You'll have to watch my video that's going to go live in a little bit more than an hour. We resolved that today. Today is part 3 of the bear claw trilogy, and we did find bear claws. So definitely watch that video. Didn't think when I did that the first time it was going to turn into a trilogy, but yeah, well, Jordan always asks good questions because he knows me personally, so he knows a little bit more about what's going on, and he can maybe probe things a little bit in a direction that maybe other people wouldn't that don't know me as well. Oh yeah, I'm sure I could find good bear claws in Minnesota with all the Swedes that live there, and the Norwegians. You're watching my live stream while walking over to the ice cream shop. Yeah, technology is great. Yeah, are you talking about the California earthquake? Yeah, I'm glad I missed that. Yeah, at this point, my sister's on parent duty this time. They've got the issue resolved. My father's already on the mend, but if need be, I'll go out there. But my sister's already there, and she's kind of taking care of things. Because really, the only thing that I can do when I'm there is just kind of help my mom a little bit. And the only thing she really needs help with is, going out and getting the mail, getting the newspaper, doing the laundry occasionally, doing a little cleaning, that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, this time it's my sister's turn. But if things change, we'll probably go do something. Yeah, but right now it's kind of at a critical time, Jordan, for the job hunting because I've got a whole bunch of applications in, and I wouldn't want them to call me and say, "Hey, can you come in today?" Well, no, I'm in California. Uh, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. If things get serious, then I'll take a trip out to California. But right now, you know, I think my sister's got things in hand under control. Does Flash recognize you when she sees me? No, I don't think she ever did. I think that Flash, I don't know if you remember from Jurassic Park, they always said that the T Rex can't see you if you move unless you move. I think Flash is the same way. I think her visibility is or her vision is so poor that she can only really see movement. Thank you, Jeff Kidd. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll use that if we need it. I always love a good Fred Sanford connection. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Nancy Ashley has been on the thing for a long time. Maybe was it her account, or they got blocked or temporarily blocked, or was it somebody hacked her account, or just someone else named Nancy Ashley that decided to cause trouble? Okay, all right. Well, Jordan only blocked her for 5 minutes, so once she gets the issue resolved again, we'll let her back in. If the same person who hacked her account is continuing to make a pest of themselves, we'll just keep blocking them at for short durations until she gets the issue resolved. When am I going to go meet George Bush? Yeah, I know. I mean, I wasn't aware how close he was until I moved here and actually looked at the map. It's like, holy cow, George Bush lives closer to me than Jordan did when I was in California. Definitely tell Terry. Tell her that we understand what happened. We'll keep the troll from we'll keep the troll from causing trouble here. But once we get the issue resolved, she'll be able to contact us or come back on, and everything will be fine. We understand. It happens. Sounds like she needs to go in and change your password. That actually is true. Yeah, that is true. Been hearing that he's been doing some painting. I've seen some of his stuff too. It's pretty decent. Yeah, it's possible that the tortoises do recognize by scent and sound, but I was never aware that Flash could hear. I don't know. Maybe certain tortoises can, and certain ones can't. But because I could make noise around her and she wouldn't react, and then all of a sudden, the moment I moved into to something she could see, all of a sudden she pulls into her shell, and that's the end of it. Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just kind of ignoring him, but he's my buddy. I am actually glad that he's coming up here now and saying hi to you because that only really started happening last week. Yep, that is Bite. Yeah, he probably wants some more kitty treats, right? Is that what it is? Want more kitty treats? I think you ran away last time because I picked you up. You don't really like to be picked up, do you? Not really into that. He's a good buddy. Yeah, I'll move over a little bit so you guys can see him. Now it'll be the Brecken Bite show. Yeah, if Bite starts doing any goofy Ed McMahon laughs, so he's off the show. Yeah, yeah, Bite's back for more. Yeah, definitely I'm glad you let Nancy know because Nancy, I mean, when I started seeing that coming up, it's like, what's going on here? Because that's, Nancy, I know that name. She's here all the time. So and she comments all the time and she participates in the live streams. And so I was kind of reluctant to, do anything about that. So I'm glad to find out that that's all it is. Meow, meow. Yep, he talks to me. Yeah, yeah, we sent a few subscribers your way, so that's cool. Yeah, yeah, just keep timing her out if we keep getting posts. Let's not block her permanently. Now he's mugging for the camera, aren't you? That's what you're doing, aren't you? Just mugging for the camera. Bite and jaw, yeah. And it was never really going to be a match made in heaven because I've said this before. Jaw's first instinct is to chase, and Bite's first instinct is to run. That's just not going to end up well. I've been any storms coming up in Waco. I've been noticing that there's a storm cell that's moving into the Gulf. Uh, that's looks like it's maybe on track to hit us, in the middle of the week or so. And I noticed just this morning that the weather report said that there was like a 40% chance of rain from like Wednesday to Friday or Saturday. So we'll see what happens. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. That's very generous of you. Very much appreciate that. For cat treats. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just what you need. More cat treats. Because it's not like you're not already kind of a big tub of lard, right? The only cat I've ever had that's so fat that he snores. Haven't really considered doing any driving trips to any place yet. I think the furthest place I've been from my home, uh, of course, when I went to California a couple months ago, or to Dallas to pick up the cats from the airport, was when I went to the Inner Space Caverns, and that's just what 40 miles from here. I don't know, maybe at some point. Right now, my travel vlogs don't do very well, so the Yeah, I actually have two cats, and I brought them both here from California. They're both, probably 12 years old now. Yeah, still mugging for the camera, aren't you, Bite? Yeah, because Louisiana isn't that far away. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, he's just going after the brush because the brush is down here. You want the brush? Yeah, he knows what he wants. Like I said before, cats kind of, their love and affection it's on their terms. That's his favorite thing in the world, though, is the kitty treats and the brush. I would suppose if I was feeding him kitty treats while brushing him, he'd be in heaven, right? Yeah, not really so short a tail. He's just I think he's got a pretty normal tail. Maybe it just looks funny on the camera. It's really funny though when the brush comes out. Usually what he wants to do is rub his face on it. So it's really odd that he's rubbing against me rather than. Yeah, see, that's what he usually does. I have to take the brush away from him sometimes because he'll rub up against it so much he'll make himself bloody, won't you? Yeah, you just love the brush. It's still in the show. You just completely hijacked the show, didn't you? Just got to be all about you, doesn't it? Well, I've seen that they got those things that have like the little spikes like this that you can like put on the corner of your like on the corner of a wall or something like that, where the cats can just come and brush up against it. But I would never want to do that because, like I said, Bite doesn't know when to stop. It'll just start. All of a sudden, the house will be covered with blood. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm glad you keep watching. That's what makes this all keep happening. Is that you guys keep watching. The subscriber things have been really static for the last month or month and a half, and but the views are going up. So you know what? That's fine. I get paid based on the views, not on the subscribers. So yeah, see, I don't think red would look good mixed in with a black and white fur, buddy. Who's crying? Sorry, I've been paying attention to Byte now, so I've been kind of missing some of the comments. So you like the brush so much you just pushed it onto the floor. Ah. Oh, okay. She's trying. She's trying to change her password. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll be here for her. I'll be here for another 20 minutes or so. If she says no, we're not going to block her. No way. The people we block are the ones that someone I've never heard of before who starts posting something stupid. You know, she okay. Yeah, tell her not to cry. We know this isn't her. I'm assuming she's watching because yeah, don't cry, Nancy. This isn't you. We understand somebody hacked your site. That's cool. What we've done is we're just preventing posting until we get it resolved. Yeah, once you get the issue resolved, once you get your password corrected and get the hacker blocked, you'll be welcome back in. Don't worry about it. Don't cry, please. It isn't worth that. We know you're a good person. That was why I was so puzzled when I was seeing it. I said, "There's got to be something wrong here because this is not Nancy. Nancy's a nice person." So we'll get it back once we get it resolved. Once you get the issue resolved on your end, it happens. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. That the hackers and trolls are just the whole bane of the internet, and it's really sad that there's people out there whose lives are so pathetic that they have to go cause other people pain and misery just to prove how pathetic they are. Yeah, you're right. That room was a total blackout. Blackout. It totally blew my mind when because I knew it was going to be a lot darker in there, but when I turned the light out and saw how dark it got in that room, it made the it surprised me. And when I saw how dark it got on the camera, it literally was almost that dark. I mean, there's a little bit of light that comes through there. In fact, it was funny. The first morning after I put that thing up, I woke up a little bit right before the alarm went off, and I looked out, and I could see light coming from underneath one of the doors, and I thought for sure I'd left the light on in the bathroom or something like that, and the light was shining under the door. It just turned out no, that was actually the light, the door going out of my room, and and that was just light shining in from outside. It was stunning. In fact, one of the things that it's kind of jarring to my eyes now when I turn on the light in the morning because it is so dark in there in the morning when I get up. But you know what? I'm sleeping so much better because of that. So it was a good move. It was best what $8 or whatever I ever spent. If you can figure out some way to send potato pancakes to the internet, Doc Watson, definitely let us know. I mean, if you can figure out how to do that, I'd like to hear that too, because then when I, make some sort of, make something on the recipe, make some recipe, I can share it with all you guys. I won't have to eat it all. Well, basically the Halloween decorations that I have, you've already seen them. If you watched Jordan's Halloween vlog last year, you saw all of it. You saw it all in action. You saw it at night when it looked good. And I think he did one a couple of years before that where you saw a lot of the stuff during the day. So, I don't really have anything new this year to add. And if I do Halloween this year, it's going to be, pretty much scaled down because there's only so much room I have. But we'll see what happens. Probably put it, if I'm not working, that night, I'll probably have a couple things out. When I moved into the storage locker, when I saw all the Halloween stuff come off of the truck, I said, okay, this is going in the front, this is going in the front, this is going in the front because I know I'm going to need it at some point. And yeah, you're right, Todd. I don't want to put the decorations out right now because a lot of the stuff I have, won't hold up really well if it rains, and it rains here periodically, and there isn't a lot of warning when you do. So, thank you, David Malarkey or Markley. Sorry, that was a bad slip, right? David Markley. Got to do that right because that comes out wrong if it isn't Malarkey. David Markley. Yeah, I'm glad you like the videos and appreciate that you think I'm doing a great job. That means a lot to me. It's the appreciation, the love, and the comments from all of you guys that make me keep doing this every day. I'd like to see a breakfast vlog, but not an omelet. Okay, well, the omelet is the one thing I've done so far. But who knows? There may be something else. Like I said, when I did that recipe of the pork chops about a week ago, I just literally kind of thumbed through the website allrecipes.com and found something that looked good. And there's no reason it couldn't be a breakfast vlog or breakfast recipe. May very well happen. Yeah, yeah, it is really hot in Texas, but you get used to it. You started painting some Halloween decorations today. All right. Well, yeah. It's good that you can do that. I could do it a little safer, a little bit more safely when I was in California, because usually it doesn't rain a whole lot in October. Usually you have to get into November, even after the New Year, before you start having to worry about rain. What you got to worry about in California in October is the Santa Ana winds, and some of those big hanging decorations had a problem when it'd be really windy. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that Lowe's has Halloween stuff out too. Home Depot definitely does. You saw that yesterday, but I don't think I've been in Lowe's since in the last few weeks. Maybe I'll have to go check that out at some point. I was looking at bakeries like in West, but West is a little bit a long ways away. And what I'm looking for is something local. I don't want to have to drive. I think I said that West is like 23 miles from here. I don't want to have to drive an hour to get something. I did find my bear claws, and you'll see that in today's video. And they're very local here, so we'll definitely be able to do that. I know where to get them now, so we're good to go. Am I a chocolate guy? Not a whole lot. Uh, when I do, I like dark chocolate. I'm not really into milk chocolate or stuff like that. Yeah, Dr. Watson, we're all waiting for our potato pancakes here. Come on, man, start dishing. Yeah, you're right, Jordan. That is true. I was spoiled by big box stores, and I'm gonna have to go to some of the littler places. But you know what? Like I said, I found two places that have bear claws. You'll see that in the video tonight, and I know where to go. Yes, it is a hard habit to break, especially, my favorite big box store, of course, is Home Depot. I go there all the time. So not going to be able to break that habit completely. Hi, Sharon. My voice gets a little hoarse. I don't usually talk this much. That's one of the problems of being an introvert. You don't talk that much. And so when you get on and talk for an hour and 57 minutes, like I've been doing here, it catches up to you. Yeah, that's actually where I did find him, is Jack and Jill's and at Shipley's. Like I said, watch the vlog tonight. You'll see the whole thing. Okay, Nancy's back. Hooray! All right, we're glad you're back. Hope you got it resolved. Yeah, just change the password, and that usually fixes it. Yeah, but you remember how much work that was changing that back. You remember what the roof looked like downstairs. It took me like three coats of primer just to cover it up before I could put another coat on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to put that much work into this place. I'm not going to be here long enough to worry about it. But we'll do something wacky when I get me when I get myself into a house. Yeah, we're sorry that was upsetting to you, Nancy. But we know it wasn't you. We know it was just hackers happen. They're idiots and they don't care what they do or who they hurt. So I'm glad you got it straightened out. We're glad you're back. We knew when I started seeing that, it struck me as odd that why is she doing this? I know Nancy. She's been on here a lot. She leaves comments on my videos. I know who. There's just certain ones of you that I know who you are, and so I was reluctant to do anything about that initially because like, wait, what's going on here? So yeah, I'm glad it was nothing. We got it. Glad you got it wrapped up, and we're glad you're back. And thanks to Terry for being the in between while we were getting this wrapped up. See, this is why I have the greatest fans in the world, because you guys not only care about me, but you care about each other. So we're about to hit the 2 hour mark, but I think because of in honor of Nancy, we'll stay on for a few more minutes just so she can get a chance to catch up if she wants. There's nothing. The only thing I like to do is make sure I'm done before my next video goes up, because otherwise it affects my numbers. Thank you, Jeff. And I mean, the only reason we have that is because we have great people like you who follow and listen and watch and comment and contribute. It means a lot to all of us. An alien brothel, huh? By Area 51. Wow, that would be a good vlog. But I would definitely get that one demonetized if I did it. Count on it. Probably get mine blocked too. I heard that they took down your edited version of the Rolling Stones video again. Man, they just won't give you a break, will they? Zucchini, that sounds really good. Zucchini stew, I don't know what that is. Am I a chocolate guy? No, not so much. I like dark chocolate in small doses, but not really. Chocolate tends to be a little too sweet for me. Yeah, well, when you have somebody that and all of a sudden something weird starts coming out of them, you know that something's weird. So, yeah, I'm glad we got it resolved as quickly as we did. Makes me sad that someone made Nancy cry, though. That's just not cool. You wonder how I would prepare chicken breast? I'm gonna have a chicken breast for dinner tonight. Basically, I just have a rub that I put on it, and I put it in the oven for 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, and it's good to go. It's something I found in the grocery store, and I really really like it. It was one of those you know meat flavors that it's just a powder you put on it, and it was called bacon chipotle sauce or chipotle powder, and it sounded really good, and I really really love it. So yeah, one of these days I'll maybe show you what that is. You have leftovers. Okay, well, party at Deep's house. Do I like nachos? Yes, especially with lots of jalapenos. The hotter, the better. It ain't good unless it makes you sweat. See, that's how you make me cry is by making something so hot that's what happens. I love it though when it's so hot it like drains your sinuses. Yeah, good stuff. When I used to work at Disney, most often there was a food truck, a roach coach that was parked right outside where our parade floats were stored, and we'd hit them every day. And I kind of became friends with the guy in the that ran the truck, and he was always. I was always challenging him to say, "Can you make this hotter? Can you make this more spicy for me?" And he kept pushing it, and he kept pushing it, and he kept pushing it, and he got to the point where it's like really okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's just one of those ones here that's stupid. Sorry, got distracted there by another troll. But anyway, yeah, I got to the point where he produced the hottest concoction he could come up with, and he gave it to me. And it's like I went back to him after I ate it, and I said, "Good job. That was what you need to do." Have I downloaded a custom cursor? No, I haven't. That was I know that was a big thing when I first got into computers, like in the late '80s. But yeah, I never really went after that. After that. Yeah, but when you eat more spicy things, I honestly believe that what ends up happening is that you end up melting off the taste buds, and so it doesn't hit you as hard as much anymore. I tend to gravitate towards really spicy things, and that's probably why I probably burned off all my taste buds. That's why I like sushi with a lot of wasabi. That's why I like Indian foods, Indian food. It's why I like Mexican food with really spicy stuff. Yeah, habanero peppers. You can't go wrong with habaneros. You know, David, I have a hot sauce that my mom got me a number of years ago, and it was just a bottle, and it wasn't even a hot sauce. They specifically say, do not use this as hot sauce. This is not hot sauce. This is be hot for hot sauce. And when I would make my chicken and mushroom and wild rice soup, I would put like 1 or 2 drops of this stuff into like 2 gallons of my soup, and it would be so hot I couldn't eat it. It would make me sweat. I'd have to eat it slowly because I couldn't deal with that because of how hot it was. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about by really, really hot stuff. This stuff is so hot that it's almost like a chemical weapon. Yeah, Google Sky is a great app. I love that. Like I said, that was the reason I got an Android in the first place, was for that app. Butter chicken is as hot as you can go. Okay. Well, to each their own. Like I said, it's something you kind of have to work your way into. I was a real wimp when it came to hot sauce in the beginning too, but you just keep working on it, and I think you build up your tolerance. Okay, Terry, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes too. So we've been going for, a little over 2 hours now. I'm getting hungry too. So, like I said, my video will be back on, and my new video will be on in about 30 minutes. So don't want to go too much longer. My voice box is starting to fail a little bit, getting a little scratchy. Yeah, if I happen to stumble upon you, like I said, I would have said something except for the fact that I was just looking to see if Jordan is on before I would go on, because I don't like to go on when he's on because then nobody watches me. But I saw you were on. I stopped in just a couple minutes and didn't really get a chance to say anything just because I was getting ready to do my own. But if I ever pop on and you're in there, we'll definitely check you out. We'll say something. Good night, Jeff. Thanks for stopping in, and thanks for your super chats. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds like everyone's wrapping up here too. So maybe I'll just do that too. We've been going for a little over 2 hours, and you know what? I'll be back next week. This is kind of something I do on either Saturday or Sunday afternoon. So just mark it in your calendar. I'll probably come on at some point around in the afternoon. Usually on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays. So yeah, I think what I will do is we'll end it here. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for those who contributed to my super chat. And I will see you next time. Well, I'll see you in 29 minutes when my next video goes on. Thanks everyone. Good night.